Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. It's your favorite tank, Ganko Guns, still rocking the mustache strong enough to parry any crit. In today's Story and Liberty video, I'm going to show you how I personally farm 10 to 20,000 Lucent every single month. No scams, no credit cards, no weird ritual under the Nebula Moon. This has been requested a lot on my Discord, on the YouTube comments. So today I'm going to give you my full method that I've been doing since day one of this game. So grab yourself a drink, maybe a notebook or not, and let's break down what actually works and how to actually do this in real time. Are you looking for people to play Thorn and Liberty with? Why not join the Mando community? We are on the Snowburn server and are always looking for good players who want to enjoy TNL with good company. Whether you're into PvE content like Trial Dungeons and Raids or some PvP Kung Fu, we are here for you. Join us. The Discord will be in the bio of this video. One last plugin, I promise. I'm grinding to 20k subs and I really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button, but only if you enjoyed the video. No pressure, just good vibes. Let's keep this journey going. All right, folks, thanks again for being here. I genuinely appreciate each and every one of you. Now, let's not waste any more time. This video is going to be a short one, or I'm going to try my best to make it a short one for you guys. So first, let's talk results. So if I go to my auction house and I go over to my sell history, you're going to notice how much I've sold, and I'll show you some example as well. Even with me bouncing between Throne and Liberty and a few of the other games, you know, being a content creator, I have to kind of play a lot of different games to have enough content. I didn't start selling anything, to be honest, until March, about just March 20th. Is when I really kind of came back and I started, and it was like these purple ebon roar greaves, as you see right here. This is pretty much when I started selling. Still, with just the amount of the last 2 weeks, as you see right here, I have over 9,000 Lucent that I have made by this method. I even spurged a little bit, to be honest. I bought this nice little wolf. And if I go to my morphs, I think it's the morphs, right? Even on my glider, I ended up buying the Storm Raven. Because again, I had some extra Lucent because of this, so it was great to actually do it. So again, this method completely works, guys. And again, I'm going to show you, I'm going to do it in steps. There'll be chapters in the description. Make sure to jump around. If you don't understand something, ask. But again, jump around, help yourselves, and let's make this easy. Right, before we dive into this Lucent guide, let me just say this. I've been using this method since day one of early access, back when we were all confused, undergeared, and still thought crafting gear with luck was a good idea. That was a joke, by the way. Now, I know someone's going to roll into the comment section and be like, we already know this, Gunko. And to that I say, fantastic, Einstein. That's great, man. But this one's for the people still catching up. Let's share the knowledge that we hear. Let's not, gatekeep anything, because let's be honest, the game is a lot more fun when it is competitive and we're all on the same page. So let's start talking how you make Lucent first and where the Lucent is coming from. That's the most important thing to understand about this guide. Okay. Number one, the red trade extraction stones. And let me show you what they look like so you can see it right here. These bad boys right here, again, the red trade extraction stones, these are the crown jewels of making money or Lucent in this game. They're the most important thing that you're going to get in this game. Majority of the Lucent that you're going to make are going to come because of this stone. Keep that in mind, okay? Keep this in mind. This is the most important resource in this game. The second one is these precious blink lithograph forms. There is one for weapons, there's one for accessories, and one for armor. And again, you have to make them. This is where if you get a rare item, you can sell it by imprinting it on one of these and selling it. But again, we have a little method for that as well, so we'll talk about that in a little bit. Understanding where these two come from is half the battle. Okay, so really quick, let me walk you over to what you need to do every single week. If you come over here, and again, I am located in Herba Village, right by Ryan and Smithy, the contract guys. You want to do this every single week. Do not mess this up, okay, guys, because it's very important. You want to come to this guy, and you want to buy out all 420 of these trade extraction stones. This is the most important thing that you can do with your coins. I know a lot of people are buying, these chests and all this stuff, and that's the trap. Okay, do not do that. I'm not saying don't buy like the daily precious blessing pouch. Of course you should, but only if you have enough of these coins. For example, these trade extractions to the 420 are the most important thing that you have to buy as soon as you see it, because when they refresh, you lost your chance. The second thing that you have to buy is the enchanted ink. You have to buy these two out every week to make money in this game. Again, that's the most important thing here. After that, you can buy whatever the hell you want or just wait for it until next week. There is also, if you go to your battle pass, there is, if you go to the battle shop, the most important thing here that you need to buy is your abyssal contract coins, because you want to be able to get more abyssal chances, and I'm going to explain that here in a minute. And then the other one is your 450 dimensional contract tokens. You can also start buying the attraction, or the trade extraction stones afterwards. I wouldn't though, because they are for 10, you're spending 50. I really wouldn't do that. I just did it to show you guys. I would very much, get these and maybe get the mastery reports and the abundance fruit personally. But again, really up to you. This is where you can buy them as well. I don't recommend it, but again, up to you. As you see right here, I'm really trying, or going hard at buying all of the abyssal contracts first, then the dimensional tokens, and then so forth and so forth. This is pretty much the only place that you can get these stones. Now, there is some in the shop. I don't recommend buying anything from here because they're just, for one, I think it's 5 of those coins. It's really not worth it. So I hope you understand now where you get these coins from. The second step is understanding where to get the gear to sell. To kind of give you an example here, as you see, this right here is what I got last night for my run. There's tons of blue and purple items for sale. Again, you might see the blues and say, oh no, they don't sell for, a lot. That is also not true. There's a certain way that we're going to look at it and a certain profit margin that we're going to go for. Again, blues are also really, really good in making Lucent. Obviously, purple is better, but blues are just as good. And I'm going to show you exactly what to look for and what to not look for and all these things. But understanding where you get these things to sell is also half the battle. So you need to understand how to get this. Majority, like 99% of this gear that you are going to get to sell is going to be from your abyssal contract tokens. Now you can have up to 40,000 in max, and you should never let this cap out. Now, what I recommend doing, and again, let me just kind of go over here so you guys can kind of see, there are really only 2 of them that are worth something here, and that is Birkin Manor and Crimson Manor. Now, Crimson Manor just came out on our server, so it's super, super busy. A lot of really good drops. Birkin Manor is a lot easier, but also some really, really good drops in there as well, depending on what you have. What I mean by that is if we go to our little inventory here on the consumables, you will notice these blue scrolls. Okay, now you can either, when you do your dailies and things like that, you're going to get some, you're going to get completed here and there. When you pretty much do missions, you get these back from your contract runs, etc., things like that. You can also buy, I believe, 6 every week from the sundries vendor. So kind of keep that in mind. After that, what you're going to do is you are going to go to dissolve, and you're going to dissolve all the old ones that you get. That's very important, is that you don't do any of the old ones because it's not worth it. All the old ones are easier, sure, but they're not going to have the newer gear that sells for a lot. You want to take your chances at the newest gear, for example, like the Birkin Estate right here, which is really good. The next thing you want to do is you want to come to the Sundries Crafter Kelly, again, located right over here. By the crafters, and you're going to craft one of the Crimson Mansions is the ones I recommend. I like the second one. That's the bottom floor, by the way, but 3. This is the ones that I normally make myself, and I will, most of the time when I do these, I'll have like 30-40 of these missions, as you see right here. I put them and I just go through them as we go down, and I burn a lot of these tokens, and as you see, you get tons of items to sell. Tons of items that you can sell. I mean, I got actually some of these as well, which is really, really cool. But again, this is how you're going to get most of your items to sell. Now, as you see right here, you also have 40,000 abyssal contract tokens. You're going to burn these really quick because every kill that you do takes a large amount off while you're in the Crimson Manor. How you get these back? Every day you automatically get a few back. The other thing is through your dungeons. So when you are doing your co-op dungeons, for example, tier 1 and tier 2s, as well as tier 3s, as they say for now for the 2 tokens, you're going to get a lot, they refund a lot of your abyssal tokens back. So do you kind of understand the idea now how like the whole method works? You want to use all your abyssal tokens when you have enough contracts, and hopefully you have enough of those blue scrolls. Or not, you can still go and they'll have a pretty good drop rate regardless, but you want to go ahead and burn as much of these every week that you can. Once or twice a week is fine. Then you want to use the dungeons every day to go ahead and refund all your abyssal contract tokens while you're again crafting and making these things so you can have more of those scrolls for missions. And then while you get this gear, now it's time to actually use that gear to make Lucent in this game. It's all connected. I hope you guys kind of see how all that works. All right, let's talk strategy now. The how-to, the meat and the potatoes. The reason you click this video instead of watching a cat juggle lightsabers in TikTok. Seriously, this is going to be fun. And here's the good news. It's never been easier than it is right now to make Lucent. Why? Back in the Dark Ages, it used to cost a different amount of stones to extract traits from weapons through armor to accessories. They've equaled that. All of that costs the same amount today, so you don't have to pay attention as much to that. Now what you need to pay attention to is what actually sells and what actually does not sell. For example, weapons, for me, never sell as much as accessories and armor, and here's what I'm talking about. For example, if I go to the weapon, and we'll just use the T2 weapons here for the example. And again, this is maybe a bad trait. Maybe we'll use a different one. Regardless, we'll just use this one right here. The Spear of Unhinged Horror. Again, we're not going to sell it. We're going to use the lithograph for it, or the trait extraction. The Heavy Attack Chance 20. Let's see how much that sells for. So if I go to, again, to the auction house, we are going to click this little search criteria. Epic 2, Fine Trait, Heavy Attack. Heavy Attack Chance right here. Apply, and then make sure that, again, you go to, I think I did armor. It needs to be weapon. Apply, and it is the spear. So it costs 160 Lucent on there. And remember, it costs us 50 of those stones to extract this. All right, keep that in mind. Now, if I were to apply the same meaning to, like, let's say, for example, the accessory right here, debuff duration, just to kind of show you the difference. Again, both are very good. Do not mistake that. Debuff duration, hit apply, and you want to go, I believe that was a bracelet. Do you see the difference in price? Okay, for the same amount, 50 stones, you're going to make 500 here. On that one, you would only make 160. The reason why I bring this up is that I prioritize armor and accessories over weapons when I'm trading. There's a really good reason for that. Weapons are the number one thing people always go for, and they put 1,000 things for sale. And you can only trade like 4 different traits into weapons that are really good. For armor and accessories, there's so many different ways that you can actually make this. The traits actually matter a lot more. So again, prioritize armor and weapons, or armor and accessories over weapons for making Lucent. Now, obviously, I'm not going to sell these. These are ones that I'm keeping. I just wanted to show them to you as an example. I'll actually have some examples for you here in a second, but I want to talk about the lithographs as well, because that's also important to understand how much you're going to be making there. So again, if you click on the lithograph right here, let's say, for example, you wanted to sell this Moonlight Echo repeaters. And as you see, you would need 2 of these precious blank lithograph weapons. Okay, 2 of them. Keep that in mind. Let's see how much it actually sells for. Okay, so Moonlight Echo repeaters. Again, we go to the auction house. We want to reset everything. We're going to go to, again, we can go weapons, but we're going to just put here repeaters. Just to kind of make it a little easier. So the repeaters with the brown border cost 1,000, but again, that's not the one that we make. We make the lithograph form, and it's only 149. So keep this in mind. 149 is how much we can sell it for. Not saying that people will buy it. If we click on it again, as you see, there's 149, 150, 355, or 399. Nobody's ever going to buy this, guys, ever. Anyway, moving on. So if we go over to our craft option, okay, and again, we go weapons, and you want to go to this little thing right here, we have to craft these lithographs. And as you see here, it costs, remember, there's 2 of them, okay? So it's 100 ink, 20 of the Precious Rubrixes, 20 of the precious polish crystals, and a bunch of this other stuff. Again, enchanted ink, just like those precious stones, is very hard to come by. You can only really buy it at, those contract vendors. So it's not an easy thing that you just want to go for cheap. The other thing is this Precious Rubrix, okay? Just to kind of, even like, let's say you had thousands and thousands of ink. Let's just say this was the main deal. It was the Precious Rubrixes. So if you search on the auction house for the Precious Rubrixes, just to kind of give you an example, it is 20 per, okay? Math, real quick. Let's just say that you can find it for the cheapest, I guess, on my server, for 20, right? So 20 times 20, because we need 20 of them, 10 for each, is 400 Lucent. Just for these, not talking about any of the other materials that you're going to need. So you're going to not only lose if you don't have these Precious Rubrixes, not only are you going to lose Lucent, it's not going to make sense for you to do this, is where I'm getting at. So my method or my rule when I am lithographing stuff, and I've actually sold one just to kind of show you on the auction house before, and this is pretty much honestly what I look for. If I scroll all the way down right here, this is where I lithograph things. As you see right here, I sold my weapon here for 1265 and I made 986 profit. I am trying to make over 500 to 600 and 700 profit on anything that I lithograph. If I don't make that, I don't lithograph it, because I would rather save that ink and get a chance at a better item that I can go ahead and sell for eventually. Like these Lotus gloves up, and I calculated, actually, this is a little undercut. I thought I was going to make 800 right here. This is why I sold them. So again, keep this in mind. When you are lithographing things, remember, you need 2 of them. No matter what you do, you need 2 of these, okay? So you have to make at least, on top of the 400 of those stones that you need to make over 400 Lucent. You need to make over 400 to 600 Lucent extra for it to matter. So what I shoot for is, again, 700-800 sale price. If the sale price is not 700-800, I do not sell it. Okay, that's my rule. That's the one that I live by since day one. And honestly, it works really well. Again, it's really up to you guys if you guys want to follow that, but I would not lithograph anything unless it sells for 700 to 800 Lucent or more. All right, and then to wrap up the video, let's do 2 examples of how you actually would do this in real time to actually see how it works. We'll do a purple item and we'll do a blue item so you guys kind of see how I look at it. And again, you're more than welcome to do the same. So if we go to the items, we're going to take, again, I always start with jewelry first, armor, and then weapons, just because it sells more. Okay, I want to use the stones that I have on jewelry first, armor, and then weapons, because I know it's going to cost the most. And I actually price all these out first, and then I go and lithograph it or trade extract it, just to kind of see if maybe some of those weapons and armor are very, rare, and they'll sell for 500-600. Anyway, so we're going to take this bracelet right here. It has bind resistance on it. Okay, and it is a T1 item. So let's see how much it costs to trade extract. So again, it's 25 right here. Remember the golden rule. If we are trade extracting it, we want to be able to make at least double the price of cost of the stones. So we need to make a profit of 50 to 60. Okay, is what we're looking for. So again, bind resistance, keep that in mind. We're going to go to the auction house. We're going to reset everything just the way we like it. Again, this is Epic 1, fine trait, bind resistance. Okay, apply. And make sure that on the bottom you do hit accessories, apply, and this was a bracelet. Okay, so only 16. Okay, so it costs us 25, and this would only, be a negative of 16. This is where you say, no, you do not do this one, because this is a negative profit. I would, instead of lithographing this or trade extracting it, I would then feed this into my material transmutation and get a chance at better jewelry. But again, remember, it didn't hit that 50 or 60, so we are not going to do it. Next thing that we're going to do is we are going to take just another pan just to kind of show you if there's anything better here. Attack speed on the Phantom Gloves. Let's see how much that goes for. Again, T1 Phantom Gloves, attack speed. Okay, so auction house, we're going to, same thing here. We're going to go armor, attack speed, hit apply. It is hands or gloves, 30. So again, 25 is how much is going to cost, right? So if we go again here, trade extract, and we take those gloves, is going to cost us 25. We are only going to make couple of profit on this. Again, not worth it because we don't 2 times those stones. Again, you can do this for some cheap Lucent, but honestly, it's not worth it because there's other things you're going to get that's going to be, you know, a lot more beneficial for you for per stone buck, if that makes sense. So let's take another example. So again, going down to another one. Now we are going to go for cloaks. And again, these skill damage resistant T2s. Let's see how much those go for. Just going to give you another example of how I do this personally. Skill damage resistance. And this would be armor. Apply. And again, cloak. 29. 40. So again, if it was 40, 50, I would say sell it. 29, 30. Okay. So again, let's see how much it costs to extract it, right? 29, 30, 40. There's some opportunity there. So if you extract this, it only costs 10. But remember, if we go on the auction house, it is 29, 30, 40. This is the one that I would then lithograph because there's a good chance this is going to sell pretty good. So again, all you do is pop it for 10, easy money. I actually think I did the wrong one, but that's right. You understand the method, right? You want to double the amount it costs for the coins, and then you just put it in the auction house and sell it. And if you continuously do this every time you do, you know, abyssal contra tokens and all that stuff, I promise you guys, you're going to make more Lucent than you can spend in this game, apart from buying the, you know, the arc weapons, which are crazy. Anyway, this is again what I do. This is what I've been doing since day one. It might not be the best method out there, but I promise you guys it works for me. As you see right here, I wish I could show you my entire sale history since the game started. I have made 50, 60,000 Lucents messing around and buying all these things without having to swipe at all. Anyway, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions.